Okay, so I've got here a specimen, a freshly killed specimen of a Andrena species. So I'm going to show you how to pin it today. First things first, this is a nice, this here is a nice firm pinning block you get from Paradox Insects in Poland. Very good company. These are pretty cheap. These are about €3, just under €3. To do the pinning, don't know if you can see that, but I've got a micro pin there, or minutons, and these tweezers here are one of the best tweezers for holding them. I don't know if you can just see in here, they've got like a textured jaw, toothed jaw, which is really good for holding the pin. Otherwise you'll tend to find it slides down a lot when you're trying to push. So now I'm just going to position the bee into position. Now the common procedure is that you always aim for the right side, top right side of the thorax. I am actually doing this through the microscope as well. I'm doing a video through the microscope. So there we go, we find the top right side and we push down, keep pushing down, just try and keep it straight and perpendicular with a bee and leave it enough out. Now that is pinned, as you can see, nicely pinned there all the way through, but with enough to hold on to at the top so you can maneuver it. Now the next thing, because a lot of bees, let me just move that back into shot with the microscope, because a lot of bees have identifying features in the mouth regions, we need to open its mandibles. A lot of bees and wasps will die with their mandibles closed. So I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to, for help with the microscope, so I can see it properly through a microscope, I'm going to just hold it between my thumb and forefinger, like so. Now you might be able to see this on the microscope shot if I can get that into focus, he says. That's it, I'll bring it up a bit. There we go. I'm going to slip these really fine forceps. Again, I got these from Paradox. You can see the company name there. Very fine. These are expensive, but no. And what I do, I just put these beneath the jaw. It can be a bit of a tricky operation. I've lost the pin. I just put these under the mandibles and use the spring to pop them jaws open. So we can now see, should be able to see under the microscope, bring it up a bit. Them jaws are now firmly open. And now it's ready to set into position. So I'll bring in back the pinning block. I place said bee upon the pinning block. Now usually I will pin these around the edge as I go along, and then put their location on. So again, using my thick jawed ones, I'm just doing this for example. I push it down like so until all its legs are touching. You can see it's all its legs are touching. And then using some size 3 pins here, get these out. I'll just get a few of these out. Right, now we've got the jaws pinned open. You can sort of put a pin in there if need be to keep the jaws open, because they have a tendency to start to close up a little bit. And remember, the bee is completely, I can maneuver the bee in any way I want. Next thing is get the wings open so you can see the venation. I find this a bit weird because I'm doing it upside down without looking through the microscope as well. So yeah, get the wings open. What I always do as well is, because I don't like killing bees or any other insect, to be honest with you, I like to make sure all the identifying features are out and the bee looks its best. Most importantly, its best. So yeah, got all the legs out. Again, I will just put a pin there, stop the wings pulling back, and The abdomen's out, the legs are out, and that is it. I would then write a bit of paper. He said looking for a small bit of paper, and on that I would put on there the location and when caught, be written on there and kept with the bees. So when you come back to it after it's set, ready for identification, you won't forget where that bee was caught or found. So, oops, just put it back into microscope view. So yeah, there it is. There's the bee all nicely pinned out and ready for setting. That should take a day or two, and then it will all be set. And you'll know it'll be set because when you take the pins out, none of it will retract. Okay, thank you. Hello everyone, welcome back. It's been a couple of days now and you can see all the bees have been pinned out. Yes, they are all bees, including the third one from the left there. That's in Germany, and Holland and Denmark, that's known as the wasp bee, but it's actually a nomad bee, which is a kleptoparasite of Andrena bees. Yeah, so they're all dried out now, and now you should be able to take away the ordinary pins, and your specimen should look like this. Everything's staying in place. This is the bee that we pinned it the other day, and now it's ready to be added to its pinning block, or to be set. Well, it's been set, so to be added to the pinning block. So for this, I use these double pinning strips. These particular ones I get from Paradox. There you go. They're a really nice pinning strip. They're quite all pre-cut to this length and they're quite thin. They're quite nice actually. Watkins and Doncaster do some, but they're longer, a bit thicker. They're a bit too furry for my liking. I'm not saying they're no good. I prefer my ones. I do use them occasionally if I have a very large specimen, because these little ones are not good for large specimens. But yeah, on the whole, I prefer these ones, much neater for my liking. So we're gonna pin that today. We're gonna set that today, and for that you're gonna need a pinning block. Each hole is a different depth. So I think that's 5 mils, 10 mils, 15, 20, and 25 mils. And this allows you to set the insects at different depths. For me, because I'm doing this one-handed, here's one I've done earlier. As you can see, look, I usually set the pinning block at 25 mil, and if I go up here, you'll see that it sits higher. So it's only 10 mil. There you go. Okay, so for me, I set the little pinning, double pinning strip in there at 25 mil, and then over to the bee. Now I'm trying to do this through the camera. Well, I'm trying to multitask here. So I'm going to grab the bee by the pin that we set in it earlier. I pin that into the block, he says. Bear with. Like I say, I'm trying to do it. Sorry if it keeps on going out of focus. I'm trying to do it multitasking here. So yeah, there it is, set in the block. And now you don't have to touch anything about the insect. You can look at it from underneath when identifying it from all angles, and you don't have to touch the insects whatsoever. So once you've ID'd it, and I've already identified this one as Andrena nitida, I then stick the pin through the label. I'm going to set that at 15 mil. So there you go, there it is. It's all set at 15 mil now. So when this goes into its case eventually, that's how it'll be sent. Now the label on this is just a temporary label. It's handwritten, and as you can see, I've put the ID on it. Andrea nitida. It's a female. I put the female symbol on there. There's a good reference where I caught the specimen, and there's a date I caught the specimen, the 19th of the 4th, 23, and really important, your name. So there's my name, H Honey, at the end there. This is only for the verifier. In this case, the county recorder. It gets sent off to him, and he'll verify to make sure I've got the right specimen ID right. And if it isn't, he sends it back with the correct ID, and also some little notes of possibly where I went wrong in the identification process. Once that's done, I then print up a proper label, and here's one that was done some time ago. And there you can see Apiolus variegatus, Caught on 31st of August 2018. I've also, if you notice, I put on there VC25. That's the Viceroy County number, 25. So Suffolk's divided into two. 26 is West Suffolk and 25 is East Suffolk. And this one was caught in Portland Gardens in Woodbridge. There's the grid reference, TM, and there's an 8-digit grid reference on there. Doesn't have to be 8-digit, but as close as possible to where you caught it, it's always good. And as you can see there, now it's got two names on there. It's got my name, and then it says DET, which means determiner. In this case, A. Knowles is the county recorder. And this is because I had identified this as Epiolus cruciger. So I'd made a little mistake there. There's only two Epiolus species in the UK, Epiolus variegatus and Epiolus cruciger. And I'd picked the wrong one when it came to identification. The 018-225 there, that was just an old reference number for a system I was storing in. Used to store my specimens in, but it doesn't work, so ignore that number. But there you go. Now that's ready to go into a drawer, so then you can pin it out in your drawer or in your case. And there you have it. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been a great use to you. Bye.